Hello, humans of the internet. I just noticed my camera isn't working. Please hold while I attempt to fix that. I hope we are all very good today. Oh, there we go. Hopefully that is working now. B, I don't want to do your survey. I just want you to show my face. Hey! Okay. Hello, humans of the internet. Welcome to Azurhia Under the Hood. As we have been for a while, we are working on our ancestries. I just realized I hadn't put size in, so I've been just popping it in here. You'll also notice that I've put the main kind of movement speeds in there. I'm just trying to like flesh this out a little bit. Oh no. Oh no. So we're just going to get this in here. And now that I've actually figured out how to make my tables self-populate, it's a lot easier to do that, which is nice. I'm having some regrets about some of my layout things, but I don't know if my regrets are strong enough to fix it. Because fixing it will be a bit of a drama, and I just don't know. I don't know that is something I care about enough to do something about. Basically, I've been thinking that I should have put the list to the side of the table, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay. So we're nearly at the end of the alphabet. I'm just copying this in here, and then we will make a column for it in our main table. Meow. Which I might actually need to. I've managed to avoid change. Oh no. I am going to have to change this. Okay, that's fine. I managed to avoid. Oh, shit it. Too far, Jax. I managed to avoid changing it when I did the speeds just by pushing things across, but this I don't think it's going to work. So I'm going to move you across. Oh, it didn't muck it up. Interesting. did last time. Maybe I did it wrong last time. I don't know what to tell you. Alright, we're gonna just pop that like that. We're gonna that. No. And around 12. And around 12, so it's just the bold that is different. Okay, I'm going to just do this so that these are all as they should be, and then we're going to add in size here. Do that. We're going to push you across 2 of them. I'm going to a square around you. Outside borders. Regret but not remorse. Well, you know me. I'm not one for remorse, really. It's not my jam. Let's just do that. No, 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 no. What is the difference? It's just this. There we go. You do it. All right. That's okay. That's okay. No borders. Oh no, that's gonna wipe them out completely. That's not really what I want. I want you. Maybe if I do this. That didn't do what I wanted. That's fine. It did enough of what I wanted. We're gonna merge you. We're gonna put a side gadget on you. Boom. Now, in theory, if I go format and plonk it there, oh, let's put it. Bro. Fine. I see how it is. I'm getting there. How often do you guys just watch me do formatting? It's great, isn't it? Don't you love it? Want you to look like this one, please. Do I? No, this one. God damn it. Alright, wait. You gotta do it in the right order, or it craps out. Okay. That is what I want. Now I want you to have a side one. Gracias. Then I want you like that. Woohoo! And then I want all of you to be in the middle, please. You need to have an XL hashtag on video. Maybe I do. I don't know. Do people like watching people just do XL shit? I don't know if that's a thing. I suppose it's it could be as much of a thing as anything else. Everybody has their thing, right? Boom. Oh, no, I want you to keep doing it. You gotta double click to make it keep going. There we go. Fun facts. I use the format painter a fuck ton. It is one of my favorite little, because it means once you've got it fixed, you can just go and apply it to everything. In fact, you can even do this. Meow. Woo, not that far. Meow. Uh-oh. Did I break it? Apparently. Oh my god. Okay, no, wait. I'm breaking things, folks. Format painter. Meow. Boom. Hey, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. Might change the questions quite a bit, but the comments might be more helpful. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like if you're world building or building a system or anything like that, knowing how to use a tool like Excel is very useful. I'm sure that there are other tools. Like I use Excel because my brain works like this, and it is helpful for me. A lot of people don't dig it as much as I dig it. That's fine. Okay. Going to just this one, I think. So we're going to copy that. I don't know if you were here last week, Matt, when I revealed that I had actually spent the time to figure out how to make it auto thingy. So we are starting from. Crap, I've forgotten how this works. That's going to give me the name. I want the size, so I need it to be A D I think. is what I want it to be, but it's offset, so AD, leave this, will be AD 112 minus 25, it will be 73? Is my maths right? No. 112. My brain must be a collection of random pages then. I just put ideas in a journal as they come and thumb through it as... I mean, whatever works for you, right? That doesn't make sense. What? Did I press insert? 112 minus 25. 87. I was way off, folks. My mental mass is not what it once was, but I think it actually has to be 86. So I think I worked hard. No, other way. 88. And it was one different. Oh, no, what's happening? 88. There we go. That's what we want. Right. Now, in theory, if I do this, it'll update all of them. Not that I've put all the information in yet, but... Oh no. Oh no. There we go. Now I can copy this one down. Okay. Right. And can I just move you to here? No, that didn't work. Okay, fine. Copy you. Copy you. And put a bottom border on. Bottom border. Boom. Right. Excellent. I've tried to be more organized, but I mean, as long as you know where everything is, I don't think it matters. I think whatever system, like people often are like, you know, there's one true system. I don't buy it. Oh shit, what have I done? Because at the end of the day, whatever works for you is the one true system for you, and that's fine. Oh my god, I did it again. Look, I want the big one. Thank you. Here we go. Like, you know, work got crazy. It's all good. I don't expect you. I don't like get upset when you. That would be dumb. I'm grateful when you're here, but also forgiving when you are not. Okay. So what I learned is that there is a way to do the thing that I was complaining about not having a way to do. It's just convoluted, and it's this offset function, which essentially tells Excel that you want every nth row. So in this case, every 25th row, because that's how big our things. The problem with it is, if you change anything, it fucks it all up. So I spent some time wrangling it and getting it under control. And then it was just a case of copy and pasting it down. But it does mean that now, as we add things, the table order updates, which is neat. Okay. Enjoy thumbing through books I've read. Oh, yeah. I definitely do that. In the sense that I have notes everywhere, but for this, because it got so big so quickly, I needed a more organized way of keeping track of everything, and that's where World Anvil is great, because it means that I can, essentially what I'm doing is exactly what you're talking about, except I'm journaling it in a way that orders it as I go, which is very handy, because otherwise I would never ever know where I put anything. Alright, so we stopped last week at the Samsaran. I made my own version of them that was less OP. Appreciate a well-made spreadsheet. Yeah, I mean, my plan eventually is that this sheet, which is the character sheet that we built, will also, you'll be able to just go into these and tick boxes, and that will autofill. Whether I'm going to be able to do that is a whole nother question, because it's a lot to do in a spreadsheet, but it would be, and it's definitely right on the edge of my skill set, but we'll see what we get. Okay. So we're going to tear through these last few that I have in my book, because I strongly suspect that a lot of these ones are going to actually, either we will have already covered with our other stuff, or they're going to be things I'm probably not going to use. Like the Shisk, who seem to be kind of birdie people. So I feel like we've already done birds. Also, I think I've mentioned this before, that I find a lot of the Mwangi Expanse stuff slightly cringy, as someone from Africa. But I think we've covered what the Shisk do with our bird people, so I'm happy with that. I'm not going to be doing skeletons. Don't at me. I don't care. I feel like... No, bro. No, bro. I feel like playing a skeleton is gimmicky, and you would have to be an exceptionally good player to pull it off in a way that would give that character depth and it not just be like a dumb gimmick. And I don't really want to deal with that, so I'm gonna leave them out. Sprites. Oh yeah, it's basically little pixies. Yeah. I don't even need to look up if that's something I need to, because I know that that's not apart from the drink, an IP thing. Since they are not going to be blue and white, it's probably fine. Well, some of them are blue, no, green. I'm looking for S's. Sp, H, LMNOP. Here. And I've got to be really careful about being consistent about this too. Sprite. I'm gonna say they mature really fast and live fast and short. They are definitely tiny. Tiny. Definitely Dex. I cannot imagine playing a skeleton or a zombie. It seems so limited. Exactly. Unless you were playing, like, the only character arc I can think of for a skeleton is the, like, Real Boy Pinocchio character arc, where you're trying to, you know, get a new body or something like that. Adam and I were talking about it the other day, and he said he could see it working if you had, like, a pairing of a skeleton and a necromancer, for example, and players, like 2 players playing that together. Maybe if the players were competent enough players to pull that off effectively, and if the story had enough depth to carry that, maybe. But I feel like that would be you would have to bring that concept to me and go, okay, how do we make this work? That's not something I'm just going to have in the book, as it were, because I just find it hard to imagine someone being able to play that kind of character with any amount of and make it anything more than just a gimmick, you know? Often... no, I'm going to always give them wings with wings. They are extremely quick, but prone to leaving glitter trails. Cool with that. I must tell you that 2 of our 3 children spent some time over the weekend trying to come up with ancestries for me. Most of them were things we had kind of already covered. But I do have one that I'm going to add, so we'll get to that right at the end. But yes, okay, so that's sprites. Then we have Strix. I don't even remember what that is. Also just bird peeps. Bird peeps, we've done bird peeps. Suli. Elementals, we've done elementals. Pretty sure that Sverf, Neblin are just, yeah, deep gnomes. So I think we've already covered gnomes. I guess we could do, like we did variants of dwarfs, I suppose, and elves, so we could do variants of gnomes. But I kind of think that gnomes should just be gnomes. And if they come from, so there would be Darkland gnomes, but they would be still gnomes. They would just, I guess, have different cultural stuff. So that's probably a background thing. You have mischievous in your voice when you talk about what is going to be. Yeah, it was cool because they were trying to come up with something I hadn't already thought of. And obviously a lot of it was like animal people or animal combos. And I was like, nah, we've done all of those. And then he came up with this, and I was like, oh, actually, that could work. And then we started kind of story crafting together, and I was, yep, we've done sylphs, tengus are just bird peeps, basically. We've done Cambion tieflings, Undine. I feel like we did Undine already. And it was just neat because he was kind of like throwing things out, like they would be like this, and I was like, okay, but you need to think about where they're located and why, what challenges they face in that location, and how they would have evolved to meet those challenges, and like watching his brain kind of start to put those connections together. It was neat. So we have Undines and Venaras are primates. We've done that. Vishkanya. We're now reaping the benefits of doing all that work at the start. Ophidian humanoids who carry potent venom within their blood and saliva. Yeah, that feels very sneaky, right? So the only thing is that their blood is poisonous. Meh. Not convinced. Last one is Wei Yang. Don't remember what that is. Oh, they just like a version of goblins. Okay, nah. It's all good. Alright, that's the end of my list here. So, let's put his... So he called them the Wee Folk. I don't want to use that name. And I did tell him I wasn't going to use that name. They are Fae. But we're going to see... I'm going to find a word that means little. Kind of want it to be probably African, although I always like to check them. I don't know how to pronounce that. Holly, sing it for me. Ichedik. Ah. Betty. Bahe. Oh, that's cute. Chinini. The Chinini. I'm gonna use that. I like that. Yes. Fuck off. Alright, so Chinini. So the concept he had was that they are very, very tiny. They're like the Lilliputians. From Gulliver's Travels. And I was imagining something kind of Wee Free Mini, if you're familiar with Pratchett. I am a long time Pratchett fan. So they are tiny Fae beings who live mostly in traditionally live mostly in forests. They build their communities in mounds in the earth or high in trees. Homes, we'll just go with homes. This has made them extremely popular in criminal circles as they are able to notice in. So the idea, this is what I was talking about. So they're these tiny little creatures. They live in forests. He was like, they live in like mounds in the ground, but they're so small that if you stood on the mound, you wouldn't even notice. And I was like, okay, that's great, but how do you stop things from standing on your house then? If you're one of these tiny people, like, you don't want to have to keep rebuilding your villages, right? That would suck. So how would you have evolved as a people to prevent this from constantly happening? And he would, at first he was talking about, like, they have guards and they have, like, they build, like, we spoke about the possibility of them having like relationships with dryads so that they could build like briar walls around their homes and stuff like that. And then I think Adam came up with the idea of the subversion field. And essentially it's, if again, things that I've pulled from other places, but if you've read Sean McGuire's Toby Day series, the Fae in those books have Don't Look Here's, which is a low-level magic that allows them that they can cast, that means that mortals just kind of don't see them. And it's not that they're not there, and it's not that they're invisible, their eyes kind of glide off them. And so we developed this idea of the subversion field, that it started out as something that only certain people had, that it was a shamanic kind of role, that had something to do with herbs that they ingested, and then they could generate this field. And it's not a force field, and it's not aggressive, but what it does is it just sort of means that big folk, so humans or giants or trolls or whoever's wandering around in the forest, just kind of take a different route. And the same with animals and beasts, like they just take a different route. So over time, the desire lines, the like animal tracks and stuff in the forest, just avoid the homes of these tiny creatures. And then we were talking about how potentially over time, over millennia or however long they've lived in these forests, that ability has become more and more innate. So instead of having to go through these complex rituals and ingesting herbs and whatever, it has like become embedded in their genetics, so that most of them are able to just do this. Not necessarily all of them, but most of them have the subversion field. And because of that, it's now a much more generalized thing, it's easier for them to go out into the world, because previously they would get stomped on. But now, because the people who have that field are not, like one in a whole clan, it's most of them. Their homes are safe, so the people who have the field are not, it's not a betrayal for them to leave. But also, because more of them have it, more of them are able to go out into the world and avoid getting stomped on. And it's a tiny, tiny leap from that to going, okay, well, if you had the ability to move through the world without being noticed, you would be such a good fucking thief. Like, what a great thief. Obviously, there are downsides, because it's a minor magical field, which means that anyone with the slightest amount of ability to spot magical things is going to see through it. But your average Joe is just not going to notice you're there. So excellent spies. It also obviously only works until you do something much like I guess classic invisibility in D&D. You know, if you jump on someone, they're gonna probably notice you on them. If you pick up an apple and run away with it, they're gonna see the apple moving. But while you're just moving through the world, the people's eyes just kind of glance off you. Anyway, I love them, and I think it would be a really fun ancestry to play. Like, I feel like you could do a lot with that. So that's where we're at. We're gonna make them long-lived for, short-lived for Fae, but that's still pretty long. These guys are in fact tiny. We'll do speeds when we do everybody else. And we're definitely gonna make them dex. They can't really be anything else. Okay, we'll delete those, because I think we're now at the point where we're gonna have to go through and add all the deets. But let's just check that my thing has actually updated properly. If the Chinini. Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, what we're gonna do now is just work our way through and actually just make sure we filled everything in. So I think I already did these guys when I was doing my testing. And then we're going to just have a look at like the life expectancies and the things and just make sure that it all kind of makes sense. So the spiders we've done. Lizard people. I'm going to say small. I'm going to say the standard 40. Oh, do we go back to the standard being 30? What did I give the spiders? 40. I'm going to make the standard 40, I think. Not have a swim speed unless they're... You can negotiate that if you're going to tell me that you're a water lizard. Okay. So lizard people, I really want them to be able to regrow limbs because I think that's hilarious. I know it's just tails, but what is it actually called? There's got to be a scientific word for that, right? Word for lizard ability to regrow tail. Autotomy. Autotomy. Oh, wrong one. This one. So if we call it autotomic regeneration, given time and Acadus. No, it's not. That's why I wanted to be more specific than that. And Acadus can regrow a lost limb. It is today I learned. Oh, you didn't know that? I was like, there's definitely a specific word for it. It is a slow process. $46. Oh. More like, I feel like I want it to be more like 64. Minimum of 6, maximum of 24. I need to make these smaller. Would you still need me? Would you still need me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, it is a slow process but can be done. If a limb is lost, it can be regrown over 64 days. To be rolled on the first day of regrowth. Regrowth can only occur on days when no further damage is taken. If an Akadas takes damage during this process, that day does not count towards their total. Okay. Oh, I totally gave them faster speed climbing. That should actually be 20. Okay. We just give them the same thing. I feel like the climbing, like lizard feet are good at climbing. Yeah? Yeah? What do we think? Kind of want to do that. What's the opposite of a sheer wall? Somewhere that has footholds and stuff. If there are... Basically, like that. Same. Okay. I'm happy with that. Androids. Yeah, like anything where they would have something to hold on to, basically, is what I'm getting at. So androids can be pretty much any size. We'll make it the standard 40. And then those would be normal unless they are given... What is the normal thing for swim? Oh, it's a specific thing. Surely anyone can swim though. Is there a rule for that? Am I being stupid? Depends on the world. Yeah. That's stupid. They're just stupid because I come from a place where it's normal to be able to swim. Okay. Like, to me, it makes sense that spiders maybe not keen on the water. But I feel like lizards would have. I'm going to just make it half of the standard. Just as a matter of course, I think. Same with... I just feel like it's going to come up, so make it easy, right? Why would we not just make it easy? Like, you could roll for, you know, circumstance bonuses, or you could, if you could give me a reason why you would have learned how to swim really well, then we could adjust it. But I feel like there should be a baseline. I'm going to make the baseline half of your standard, same with climb. And then it can be adjusted based on things like athletics. You know, being able to swim, having grown up on boats or something. All right. Okay, so androids can self-heal. And have a look at them. Let's have a look at them and see what they can do in the original. You lived on an island. Yeah, exactly. Like if you've actually... But then that would be built into the expertise stuff. Like if you have a background that has, you know, that you've been around water, you could build in that expertise as part of the expertise structure into that, which would then increase your swim speed or climb speed if you've, you know, been a rock climber or something. Okay. I want like low light vision. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, see, I hate this. Like, I get why they do it. I get it. But like, if you're going to give someone the ability to have a soul, you can't just write their entire personality into their genetics, as it were. Alright, I'm going to say... Do we want to make vision like... No, I've got so many things on there already. Like senses is what I'm getting at. Maybe we take these out since these are not relevant. Maybe instead of doing that, we do senses. Where I'm going with this. I'll have to bow out soon. I have a video appointment. All good. I hope it is a good appointment. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So vision. Something like that. I hope you receive the answers you wish to receive. That is probably a good wish for something like that. Right. Most of these will be standard, but what that means is we can do things like, say, night vision. Look, I want you to. Let you just say I wanted to over thingy. Keep going. Keep going. Why are you not? Oh, is it because it's wrapped? No, it's because that's what. No, why? Why? Maybe I'll do this. No. Weird. Alright, well, we can also do this. Haha. Okay. Then we will copy this down. No, bruh. Come on. Do as you're told. Oh my god. You bastard. Okay. So that's just standard. That's standard. I'm gonna say they have minor tremor sense. Would you like AI to be programmed to change the spreadsheet based on your comments, or would that be creepy? I'm not a big fan of AI interfering with my work. I trust my brain more than the computer brain. I have basically all the AI tools turned off on just about everything I do, including things like Grammarly that tries to fix my grammar. I'm like, look, I'm good at grammar, leave me alone. But yeah, nah, I feel like that would be bad. Advantage on perception. Vibration. Something like that. Let's do this. Okay. Me too, but it does not seem to understand what I'm asking ever when it chooses to surprise me. It's like little Clippy, right? It seems like you are trying to blah blah blah. Bro, stop it. Okay, what size did we make this? 14. So I'm going to make that all 14. This all 14. This 14. This 14. Okay. Clippy was helpful once in a while. Oh, was he though? Was he? I don't know if I'm convinced of that. Okay. What else do we get from ancestries that are not in here? I think that pretty much covers it, right? Because it's the physical stuff. So it's the 3 physical stats, it's your senses, a couple of skills that you can do, life expectancy, size, physical speeds. And these, again, are just baseline things. So everything would be like add on to-able. That was terrible, but you know what I mean. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just copy this. No, just this part. Modular. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm just going to delete these ones, and then I'm going to just copy this all the way down. I don't think we've changed anything that's going to break our table up there. Maybe we should go look before I do it all the way down. Let's go check that this is all still good. Yep, everything looks fine. Cool. I didn't think I had, but it would suck to do the whole thing and then realize that I've screwed it up. So we're gonna just... Oh no. No, you are dumb, Jax. Because you know what I've done. So I actually just want this part. Because otherwise I'm changing everybody's stats to the same thing, which we don't want. There we go. Otherwise everyone's going to be dicks forever. I mean, everything's modular, right? That's how this works. Like, you start with the base. That's why I've never understood giving people massive, like, skill sets based on ancestry. Like, that should be just the baseline physical stuff. Like, what does your physicality allow you to do that might not be the same as a human person? That's it. So otherwise, it just becomes stupid. And, like, you've got to be able to build, right? Otherwise, yeah. I think I said this last week as well. Like, if you start out with a character with such a massive story and so many skills and so many abilities and so much stuff, like, this should be chapter 1, you know? And in chapter 1, you might have a little bit of backstory, like some trauma to build on, or, you know, a couple of enemies, or like a mystery in your past, like that kind of stuff that a DM can take and run with. But if you have a whole freaking story already, like, go write a novel. What are you doing in a TTRPG? Like, the whole point of playing these games is to build the story as you go, right? Like even most of the NPCs I make, you know, I have a basic idea of who they are and how they fit, but a lot of it is just kind of, as the story requires the answers, I find the answers, which means that I'm discovering them at the same time as everybody else's, and that's fun for me. If I wanted to have complete control of a story, I would write a novel. And honestly, as someone who has written things, sometimes that doesn't even work because your characters are like, oh, hi, here's some stuff that I have just decided is going to be a part of the story, whether you like it or not. Thanks for playing. It's great. It's great. And fictional characters take over your life. Okay. Cool beans. No in medias res for your games. I don't even know what that means. I feel like I should, though. Please hold while I Google it. Like starting in the middle? Is that what it means? Ah, nah. Like, I mean, yes, if you're starting with level 10 characters, but if you're starting with level 1 characters, it's supposed to be the start of their adventure, not like, yeah. That doesn't mean you can't be old or like have, you know, a background. That's fine, but like, I just feel like you should, you know, have, I don't know if I'm making sense. Anyway, I'm going to unmerge these guys because I want to merge that and this. I'm just going to faff about with my thing for a bit. I'm going to make this sensors. Up to there. That? No. Well, oh, that's why. Unmerge that baby. Yeah, cool. Now will you let me do this? Boop. Yes, sure do. Yes, do whatever you want. Merge to the right. Right, I think that's what I want. That. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Unmerge these ones. Bear with me while I faff about some more. Oh, okay. We're gonna just copy you across there. That. Cool. You're making much sense. I am just a contrarian. I'm okay with that. You can be a contrarian. I'm all good. That works for me. Alright. I'm going to just make this copy. Boom, boom. Maybe not. Maybe not, actually. Let's not do that. Okay, so now, let's see if it's going to let me do this in a smart way. I always want people to question things, not doubt themselves. I mean, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Alright. Oh, now I've changed it on the bottom one. That's stupid, Jax. Meow. Back to the top. Back to the bottom. Fuck's sake. I think questions are good because it makes you think about it twice. But I just feel like I have been very like I'm aware that sometimes I can be quite what's the word? Oh, this isn't going to divide nicely. That's annoying. I forgot what I was saying. Sorry, I got distracted by my formatting. What I was going to say is that I often work from instinct. So a lot of my... Nah, that's dumb. Don't like that. A lot of my... like, the things I put in the world come from, like, a very intuitive place. It's very, like, what I feel is right for this thing kind of thing. Oh, I see what I've done. Okay, wait. So sometimes it's good to have to actually work through where that's come from. You know, like why do I think that this is the case? Where is this coming from? What is my basis for it? Like, is it actually real or is it just a weird prejudice that I haven't examined? You know? Sorry, I'm just going to do this so that I can... Oh my god. Just do these bits. Do you think that will work? Let's find out. Hey! Cool. Alright. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Okay. Oh, I want you to be up though. Thank you. Alright, I think I'm happy now. Cool. So, what we're going to do is copy, is just get this next one, and we'll work our way down like that. One at a time. Alright, so, where are we? Lizard peeps. So we've done the spiders. We're getting there, guys. Once we've got it sussed, it'll just work. Right, I'm gonna just close this here. I don't need that anymore. So, lizard peeps. Want to give them nictitating membranes. I'm gonna make that standard. Oh, why are you the wrong thing? Boom. The rest of them are fine. Okay, cool. Smell. Okay, what is a lizard's major sense? It's got to be touch, right? Lizard senses. The things you look up. Prehensile tails, some of them, keratin. Oh, so it's like taste. It always kind of freaks me out that geckos lick their eyes. Okay, it varies. It varies. Can I make it smell? I feel like that makes sense. Oh yeah, the heat thing, that's quite cool. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna make smell their primary. Kind of want them to just have like pheromone sense. You can tell when you're scared. They can tell your feelings from how you smell. It's like insight, but it's smell insight. Yep. Okay. Standard hearing. What did you just say? Oh, the heat thing. Yeah. Just realized I don't need that because that's not at the start. I need to decide if I'm going to go with advantage or the circumstance bonuses. I'm kind of using both. Having said that, I'm not sure it's a problem if I'm using both. trying to decide if it's a problem that I'm using both. I don't think it is. Oh, I did that already. Clever girl. I think more mechanics need to be nailed down before. Yeah. I guess the thing for me is that it feels like it depends. It's very circumstantial. Like sometimes advantage makes sense because it's like it's a straightforward increasing the odds thing. And sometimes a circumstance bonus makes sense because you're just always that much better than the average person. And those feel like different things for me. But why do I feel like the tremor sense is advantage on perception, but the heat thing is a +2? Why? I can't tell you really. It just feels right in my belly. Which I realize is a dumb statement, but it is what it is. Okay, so unities to that just makes sense to me because they are. I think what I want to do for androids is make all of these standard by definition. Bro. Should do the trick. And then as their special thing, they can redirect resources to one of them for a period of time. Instinct is just a decision you have not put to words. Yeah, a lot of it is gut, and I know that like a lot of my game buildy stuff is gut. Like even in the moment when people are like, "I want to do the thing," and I'm like, "Okay, that feels like this." So much of that is just like a gut response, and I like to think that that comes from having DM'd very regularly to a very diverse group of people for a very long time. That I have a sense of things that. But maybe I'm just tooting my own horn, I don't know. To a particular sense for a... How long do we want to make this? Hour per day. All checks using this sense are done at advantage. But all checks using others are done at disadvantage. Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. I do it as well. I think it just comes from experience, right? It just comes from having done, like you and I are both people who have, although I haven't been DMing for that long a time. Like I started not that long ago by a lot of people's standards, but I think just because of the horde, like I had to learn a lot really quickly, and because of the nature of the way those horde games are and were, with lots of different kinds of people and lots of different players and a lot of people who I may never usually have played with, so lots of play styles, I had to learn how to manage that very quickly live on the internet. So, you know, there's that. Okay. So my learning curve was steep as fuck, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Yes, I'm going back to the D&D, classic D&D thing of everybody has dark vision. But to me it makes sense that Fae would have dark vision. I don't think they get a special thing. These ones have all had it mostly because animals get weird shit. Nah. Tree smalls, hedgehogs. Wait, did I do the other things? Medium. Standard walk speed. Standard climb speed. What did I say? Half of it, right? Standard swim speed. No fly speed. Okay. Shrews, moles, hedgehogs. These guys would be small. Give them a smaller walk speed. Standard climb speed. Oh, what have I done? No. Okay, I want to give them burrowing. Arvati are able to burrow rapidly through the earth. Okay. To identify vibrations and potential Why do you not rap? Rap. Okay. Shrews, moles, and hedgehogs. Small, hedgy things. You jumped into the deep end with Horde. I did a bit, yes. I need another skill or feat for these guys. That is physical, so that even if they grew up in a city, they would have it. Because my thought was like, oh, survival. But, nah. Snuffle plus yes, basically. That is what the heightened senses. Snuffle +1. +2 to snuffle. I was thinking of like a defense, like natural defense. They possess a natural appropriate to the specific animal, such as claws for moles, spines for hedgies, etc. Discuss with them. But like, depending on what animal you are, you would have something that you can use either as a defense or... Okay. Oh no, I didn't copy paste. I didn't copy pasta. Copy pasta. Okay. Celestial... blah blah blah. So medium. Walk speed standard. Climb speed standard. Swim speed standard. Fly starts at 0, and then they have wings that adjust as they go. Okay. Gonna say these guys also probably have dark vision. The logical thing with a kind of celestial based thing is some sort of like alignment affinity, but since I very seldom actually use alignment, that seems dumb. So maybe no. Maybe no. Nothing immediately springs to mind. Okay. What do they normally get? I bet it's some sort of dumb... What are they called? Asimar. Right? Just want to know what their like cool skills are. Cool skills. You gonna give me their cool skills? No, of course not. What are they called in Pathfinder? I don't know. Celestials? Are they just called Celestials in Pathfinder? Maybe. Yes. Okay. Oh my god. Why are you making this hard? Can you not play a Celestial in Pathfinder? Character creation. Ancestries. Pets, centaurs, fetchlings, hobgoblins. There's no such thing as like a Celestial. There must be. Surely. Surely. Tanuki. Interesting. Okay. Maybe it's these guys? They look kind of celestial-ish, right? I just need to know what they're like. Low light vision. Oh my god. Too hard, man. Pick a random one. You're gonna give me what your thing is. Translocate, touch of charity. Oh, I suppose I could give them like fundamental natural healing stuff. Imbue healing power into Cha. What is a base like base heal? What about quicker recovery from conditions? Ah, maybe. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. One d8 is your standard heal. Yeah. I kind of want to try to, like, there will be backgrounds obviously, but the backgrounds will have more to do. Like, this is nature. The backgrounds are nurture in my brain. I think very minor healing, like they just have the ability to touch things and they get better. But it's kind of draining, so they can only do it once. That kind of makes sense to me. Let's go with that for now. See if we... The conditions thing might work, but I also want to try to avoid anything that's going to make them crazy OP right from the get-go, you know? Wait, did I even do there? Oh yeah, I did. Cool. Lay on hands-ish. Exactly. Lay on hands-ish is about right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that it's just like an innate, like leftover from, you know, whatever the angelic feel like automatons are basically the same as that for the purposes of this. The differences are Aura of angel. Yes, something like that. Something like that, yes. So automatons would be medium, most likely standard walk. It would be really dumb to make it an automaton that doesn't have dark vision. But they can't smell. Smell feels like an organic thing. Like you lose smell when you become a robot. Do automatons usually get anything? I don't think so. Okay, we're gonna just go with no. My gut says no anyway. Makes sense to me that if you don't have a biological body, you can't get sick or poisoned. That seems logical. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say they are also medium. No flying for bears. Bears' general skills. Bears can always tell if there is honey close by. Give them low light vision. I think bears probably have good smell. Let's give them the heightened smell. Alright. Skills and feats for bears. What are special things bears can do? I'm gonna just look up bears. Bear. Oh, this could be dangerous. I want the animal Google. Thank you. Oh, they're carnivores. Good for pandas. Mole. Yeah. Except these are bear people. Like, not. But yeah, they could have claws, I guess. Tails. Strong as fuck. That was a quick doctor video chat thing. Oh, cool. Yay. Hope all is good. Oh, I never even thought of like making color thing. jaw strength. God, I just got really tired. Okay, I mean the claws make sense. So, Baloo have natural claws, which allow. Ugh, I yawned myself into tears. For a claw attack. I've got to look up what a standard claw attack is. Oh, like the hibernation thing? Yeah, maybe. Maybe we could do some kind of like increased recovery from wounds or something. Because I think the dying wounded thing. Hang on, one thing at a time, Jax. Claw attack, Pathfinder. Oh, we're going to Reddit apparently. That was the first one. One d4. What I was thinking is like a hibernation thing that is. The problem with things like climb speed is it depends on the animal. Like, polar bears probably don't have climb speed. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know that much about bears, to be honest, because I've never lived in a place that had a lot of bears. There are some animals I know loads about, but bears is not one of them. The hibernation thing, I was thinking that the dying wounded thing takes several days to recover from, as I recall, in Pathfinder anyway. But that makes sense to me because it's never made sense to me that you can be literally on the verge of death and then have a good sleep and be fine after that. So did you're just better. You're just better straight away. It makes no sense to me. Like, I feel like it should take some time, which might be a thing that I add in. I'm going to put this in my notes for later. Dying wounded should have a recovery period. Unless you're like magically healed. Like actual magic. I feel like if you've been dying or wounded. Yeah, like if you're in a fight and you are wounded to the point where you are almost dead, a good 8-hour sleep is not going to fix you. Like, I feel like there should be several days of maybe day per wounded level, something like that. And then this guy could have healing hibernation. If Baloo goes into a deep sleep for 12 hours, they can remove 1 extra level of wounded. Of any condition where recovery is based on sleep. If the sleep is interrupted effect is so my thought is this. If exactly if you if you hit dying and you wake up, you become wounded 1. I would say you need a full night's sleep. Things like wounded and exhaustion, the higher the level of it, I would say you need a full night's rest and a full day where nothing bad happens to you in order to remove that. So essentially you would need a long rest and then a day where you take no damage or no further whatever the thing is. So if it's exhaustion, no further things that cause exhaustion. And if you get through that 24-hour thing, then that condition is removed. If you have this ancestry, you can sleep for 12 hours instead of 8, and as long as you're not interrupted at the end of those 12 hours, that thing goes away. So you lose the condition of not having to get through the next day without exacerbating it. Does that make sense? Makes sense in my brain. Alright, at that point we have to stop because I have to go get ready for work, unfortunately. This is the fun part though. This is the story stuff. I love it. So I will be doing Jax is Not a Gamer this afternoon over on Twitch. As always, I don't know what game I'm playing until I start. So if you would like to come and watch me attempt to play something, I'll be doing that about 2 o'clock New Zealand time, which is in about 8 hours, roughly, from now. And then once I've done that for a few hours, Adam takes over and plays the game, usually better than me. Although I'm hoping that for once we're going to get a cutesy chill game that is my jam. Because we've been playing a lot of shoot the monsters, beat the bad guys games recently. But the wheel is in charge, so we will see. And then obviously next week I will be back again with Azurhia Under the Hood, Monday, Wednesday morning. Thanks for hanging with me. You guys are awesome, and I love that you are still interested in this while I noodle away at it. I feel like we've got to the fun bit now of actually building skills and feats for these, and then once we've got all the ancestries sorted, we will be able to move on to classes and other skills and the nitty-gritty of the thing. I knew it was going to take a long time, but there's a part of me that feels bad that it's taking as long as it is, but it takes as long as it takes, so that's how it is. And I feel like once we get all this down, basically once we have the ancestries and the classes more or less sussed, we'll be able to start playtesting, and that's when it's going to get really fun. So I'm excited for that. Yeah. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, have a beautiful time zone, and I will see you next time. Love you guys.